Well, from Lassie, we have to move on now to Lost in Space. Which is one of the great shows, and it was science fiction, but with a lighter family touch that was really endearing.
Lost in Space was like going out in the backyard in the sand and playing space. It was like kindergarten. I tell you, we did have fun. And with those of you who were with the show from the very beginning, you knew that it started out as rather a serious show, and then the pilot is without Dr. Smith. And then they subsequently added that character and cut his stuff into our original pilot. So Lost in Space was really quite remarkable. And once the character that Jonathan Harris really created, and he got where he was writing his own dialogue and changing scenes and doing everything, he really pretty much took over the show. And ratings were fine, so they let him do it. I know once Irwin Allen was overheard to say, you know, what happened to my original series? What about the family? But nothing changed. So it was canceled after 3 years for this reason. Perry Lafferty, who was at that time in charge of CBS West Coast, and after the show was canceled, he said to me, I gotta tell you why, Jude, because we were prepared to do another year or perhaps 2 with the show. And he said, I had said to Irwin, in 2 months, I'm going to New York and we're going to discuss next year's listings of the shows that we want to put on. And so give me your outlines for your 22, 23, 24 shows we used to shoot in those days. Irwin said to Perry, this very, very tip-top executive of CBS, well, I'm not going to waste time talking to anybody here on the West Coast. I'm going to New York with this. So Perry said, all right. So he went to New York next Monday. They had their meeting. They're going down the list of the shows they're going to pick up and doing it. Lost in Space comes up, and he said, well, Irwin never sent me the outlines. Oh, really? Oh. Next. That was it. It was that clean. Yeah. And within 6 months, Irwin, who had had 4 top shows on, A Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, which I did, which gave me the job in Lost in Space. Time Tunnel, the Land of the Giants, and Lost in Space, all the shows were off the air, and he was off the lot.
Wow.
However, he then, pulled himself together and went off and did Towering Inferno.
Sure.
So, we're in the 3rd year. I gotta take.
This sounds like a good punchline,
Oh,
folks.
this is gonna be great.
Okay.
Did any of you see the Vegetable Rebellion? The Vegetable Rebellion was one of the 100 best worst shows on television by TV Guide. Okay, the plot was that we landed on a planet that took over, and so we were all on this planet, and there were leaves and trees and everything, and we had to hack our way through. One time it was Guy Williams, myself, Angela Cartwright, and Mark Goddard behind, and we're going, and Guy is hacking his way through, and so off stage the script supervisor is reading the ad libs because all these plants have human elements. Okay, so he'd go like this, and over here the script is going, oh, and he cuts another one, and Guy said, he turns around with this thing and he said, what are you doing? He said, it's here on the script. I've got to, I'm vocalizing what the plants are feeling. Okay, so now we consider, we finally do this scene, and we are there. I've got my head against Guy's chest, and Angela's behind me. And of course, Mark is bringing up the rear. At that point in the script, they're supposed to drop a net over us. They dropped the heaviest old filthy cargo net. Now, this was the kind of a net that they must have used in a Tyrone Power movie when, you throw it over the side and the Marines climb the side of the ship. It was filthy, it was heavy, it was so bad, and when they took it off us, We had to have everything washed, cleaned, brushed off. We were filthy. Okay, but that's not truly the best part. We get that part done. Now we get into a kind of a conservatory place where every time you sit down you take root, because after all, Jonathan Harris was dressed as celery, and Stanley Adams, a wonderful character actor, was dressed as a carrot with an orange face sticking out of the top of the carrot.
Early Fruit of the Loom.
Oh,
science
yes, exactly. Okay, so now we're in this place, and Angela has an exhaustion. She sat down and, of course, immediately took root. As the mother, I'm very upset the kid has taken root. So now, Guy and Mark decide, oh, and it's very, very hot in there. Oh, it's so hot. So they decide that if they can get underneath into the basement of this little place, the conservatory place where we are, and maybe there'd be a way that they could make it less hot. So they find on the floor like a trap door. Okay, I gotta stand up to do this. Okay. So, can you all hear me? All right. So here, there was no stairway down here, just a trap door. See? So they lift up the trap door. The camera's out there. They lift the trap door, and I'm holding it, and they, two big leading men, pretend to walk downstairs. And then I am here holding up the trap door. The two handsome leading men have crawled off on their hands and knees, and I'm saying, "Be careful, John!" into the floor, holding the trap door. Okay, much laughter all around. We can hardly stand it, we are so. And over there, they're on the floor. Now, so I put the thing down, and we wait for the signal. It now starts to snow, so we know they've got the right dials. And we are so now covered in snow. So pretty soon they equalize the heat and the cold, tapping on the thing. I pick up the thing again, and they crawl back. And then, unbelievable. You know, we just, but you have to keep a straight face. Oh, there are shots in that clip, if you ever see it. There's Mark and Guy and I are standing doing scenes and looking out because we can't. Oh, we have a force field. That's why we can't leave. I forgot the force field. So you know you have to pay. Yeah. There are shots of Mark, and he will read a line of dialogue like, "Looks pretty serious." Really bad. So if you can see it or get a copy of it, it's delicious. So I'll finish up now. Okay. Anyway, I want you to know, Guy Williams and I were written out of the next two episodes as punishment. Irwin wasn't going to have anybody laughing at his episodes.
June, I have to tell you something.
Oh,
it's been a delight. It's been a delight having you here. And I was wrong about Saturday Night Live. You need to take this one-woman show on the road. Thank you all. Thank June Lockhart. Incomparable. Incomparable.